Yes, my people, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. So in this video we're going to be making a little deal, a firm handshake between me and you, okay? And what I want this to be is I want this to be a journal you're making, a deal that starts here now, that says that you're going to put time and effort into improving each and every day when it comes to trading cryptocurrency. Whether you're starting out or you're at your mid-level or you're at more of a pro to full skilled level at trading cryptocurrency, I want this to be a deal between me and you that you are going to try. You are going to trade cryptocurrency every day. If you're not trading, you're going to be on the markets, on the exchange, looking for the next play, gaining market experience. Okay, but before we get into too much of that, I don't need to be making this video. I don't need to be helping you lot. I'm literally sitting right now in my penthouse apartment, okay? Obviously, that's why my setup's a bit temporary. I had a whole proper setup at my mum's house, okay? But obviously, now we're making money through cryptocurrency. Now we're rich through cryptocurrency. I've moved out of my mum's house. That's why the setup is a bit temporary, but that's going to change in later videos. Be ready, be prepared, okay? Now, what I want you to all realize is when I first started trading crypto, I was in a very similar situation to a lot of you lot. Maybe even worse, okay? Because I've never been to primary school, secondary school, high school, none of these, college, university. I've never been to none of these, okay? You could search for it and prove me wrong, okay? So the thing is a lot of you lot are actually in better situations than I was coming into cryptocurrency. But one thing you need to know about me is ever since a very early age, I've been involved in business, let's say, okay? I remember very early when I first realized I wasn't getting as much money as any of my peers, any of my friends. When I was growing up, we were all comparing pocket money. Me and my boys, Lenny and Theo, we started this little dog walking business because I remember comparing my pocket money to these rich kids called Alfie and Megan, okay, who their dad Stuart ended up dying. Rest in peace, Stuart, okay. But I remember comparing with his kids how much money they were getting per week, and they were getting £30 pocket money. I was getting 0, okay. So me and my mate Lenny, no leads, no treats, no nothing. We started on knocking on old women's doors, asking them, can we walk your dogs, Before you knew it, we were making more money, we were having more pocket money than any comparable kid in the playground, okay? And then, I flipped that money into buying vintage Lego, okay? And then gradually started to buy and sell vintage Lego, okay? And then, it was actually vintage Technic Lego, which is a certain type of Lego, this, that, a third. And then I flipped that into buying my first rideable. I bought something called a one wheel. It was about 2.2k in dollars, I'm pretty sure at the time. Could have been 2.5k, something like that. That was crazy. I was 11 or 10 years old at this time now. Could have even been 9, I can't quite remember. And I brought my first ever crazy rideable, thousands of pounds, all myself. So whilst you lot, okay, were in school playing around, effectively being babysat, okay, and not really learning much, okay, I was out there making moves, making money already, okay, hustling. Obviously there's a lot of bits I'm missing out, but That's because this isn't the point of this video, okay? When I started out trading cryptocurrency, and even now, the amount of information actually on YouTube when it comes to trading meme coins, whether it be filters you should use on exchanges, okay, what to put your bribery fees, priority fees, what exchanges to use, because it's always constantly changing. People first used Jupiter Exchange to trade meme coins, then they started using Photon, then everybody started using BullX, then everybody started using Axiom, now people are using GN and Terminal. It's always constantly changing. And if you're not deeply involved in the cryptocurrency space, it can all get very overwhelming that it's always changing so quickly, especially when so much of crypto is having this good base of getting your exchange set up well, understanding your numbers quickly when it comes to what amount of bundling do you want in a coin, what amount of insiders do you want in a coin, what amount of top 10% holders do you want in a coin proportional to the amount of insiders, okay? You don't want a coin to be mintable, mutable, freezable, etc. obviously, okay? So many things. You want the dev to be sold out of all the supply, or you want it to say DS, which means dev sold. Those are just your simple base, things, right? So many things when it comes to trading and knowing cryptocurrency isn't going to be just learning a strategy, isn't going to be just watching videos, because you can watch as many like Conor McGregor or Ronaldo or Messi like highlight reels at 3 a.m. on your phone, doom scrolling on TikTok, and get inspired and genuinely learn, okay? But there is going to be a limit on how much you can learn without actually gaining market experience, okay? That's not going to even be trading necessarily, though I would always recommend trading but with low amounts when you're learning, okay? But that's just sitting on exchanges and just absorbing the market, okay? That's sitting on Phantom Wallet if you've just got an iPhone first. If you're starting from zero, that's sitting on Phantom Wallet first, understanding that, then moving on to a pro exchange like Axiom, like BullX, like Terminal, etc. Okay? That's why when it comes to searching videos on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Twitch, wherever, you need to make sure that you're watching these videos and then either putting it into action straight away after, or you're on an exchange as you're watching a live stream on Twitch, okay? You've looked up a streamer that you found that you like that's streaming crypto, and you're on an exchange trading crypto at the same time. Because a lot of the best things you're going to learn when it comes to cryptocurrency is going to be X, okay, or Twitter posts and live streams, Twitch live streams, watching people trade live, okay? If you don't know all of the good celebrities already, okay, obviously you've got the big ones like Cupsy, Orangey, Razma, I could keep devices, I could just keep going, okay? If you haven't got all of those people sort of logged in your mind, then go on Twitch and search the word crypto and literally watch everybody that has over 350 viewers, okay? And start to just get a bit of an understanding, okay? Anything that you really have a problem in learning, and if you need my advice, message me privately or comment on this video, and I'm going to try and get back to as many of you lot as I can with helpful advice, tips and tricks, tech problems, etc., whatever you need to help. What a lot of people fail to understand as well when it comes to cryptocurrency is that after gaining a certain amount of knowledge online, on YouTube, from people you know that have been trading cryptocurrency, there is going to reach a limit. There's going to reach a limit as to what you're going to be able to learn without gaining skills within cryptocurrency. Okay, I'll give you a very good example. You could be an alright skier, an alright snowboarder, an alright surfer, watch world champions compete, but you're not going to be able to become that good just from watching them. You're going to be able to gradually get better and better. You're going to be able to maybe become that good, but you're not just going to watch them do it and then it's going to work as soon as you attempt it. That's not how it works. You're going to need to find a strategy that works, find a way of finding coins, understanding social media narratives, understanding global narratives. One of the funnest things about cryptocurrency is the fact you can watch something that's happening right now, like in the news, okay? Or you can like see something that Trump's doing, or see something that, you know, Putin's doing, or there's some guinea pig that's broken out of his cage and broken into a female's cage and impregnated over 100 guinea pigs, right? And that makes you over 20 times your money off a horny guinea pig, okay? Crypto is just crazy, especially when, you know, in the stock market, you know, the S&P 500 in an index fund, your money is only growing from about 8 to 16% a year. A year. I wouldn't even try and learn about cryptocurrency if I were you, if you only gained 16% a year, okay? With cryptocurrency, we're in it for the big percentages. We're in it for 100%, 1,000%, 10,000%, 20,000%, 100,000%. One of the first big coins I ever found was called Kekulus Maximus. Okay, Elon Musk changed his Twitter profile and started posting AI generated imagery of Pepe the Frog in Roman outfits and Roman, you know, knight's armor type of thing, okay? And this coin went up by over 120,000% in one day. One day. And when you have a coin like that, I think you can probably understand from just what I've told you already, Elon Musk has promoted this crypto coin. That's obviously a coin that's going to go parabolic in terms of percents, okay? Because in cryptocurrency, there's a lot of people that have what we called like a golden touch, which basically just means whatever they post that gets made into crypto or is sometimes crypto related, meme coin related, is just going to go parabolic. It's going to fly, okay? What you need to understand is certain people can just tweet one word. Michael Saylor tweeted the other day, hold. Somebody made that into a coin. It went to over 200k in market cap. Okay, I'm pretty sure. Some of these things in crypto that sound stupid, like Bitcoin, okay, which, you know, I started to see a sub 10 mil market cap. It ran to over a 39 million market cap. Do sound stupid. But a lot of what meme coins are is maybe taking what should be serious Jeffrey Epstein and making it into Pepstein, the Jeffrey Epstein frog, okay? With cryptocurrency, you're not really meant to take life, wars, you know, the president, you know, cars, the news, You're not meant to take none of it too seriously. You're just meant to absorb information and realize what narrative right now, today, this hour, tomorrow is going to be, has been, or is trending right now. Okay? What a lot of you need to realize as well is when you first start out trading cryptocurrency, a lot of it is just like realizing that you need to commit to doing this for at least a couple of hours each day, at least 1 hour a day, at least 2 hours a day, at least 3 hours a day, at least 4 hours a day. Whatever is the max output you can do. Because one of the biggest parts of committing to trading cryptocurrency, and I think the part that we all struggle with the most and is getting worse each year, is just the TikTok sort of mindset of only watching a video for like 20 seconds and then scrolling, doom scrolling again on your phone. It's your attention span. It's, yeah, you want to get rich, but on the other side of that, you can't stop being distracted by just watching another video here, going on Instagram, going on Twitter, you know, getting distracted with all these other things. You need to actually commit yourself to one thing. Okay, just because you self-diagnose yourself with ADHD doesn't actually mean you have ADHD, okay, all of the time. Even if you do, sometimes ADHD can actually be a superpower for focusing on the things you like the most, okay? With cryptocurrency, with trading meme coins, you're going to actually realize some of these videos you've been seeing of people flying private jets, okay? Maybe people like me with their Louis V bags, Gucci bags, Prada bags, whatever people you've seen online, okay? Going to these 5-star hotels, going on all these holidays. But the thing is not all these people have a winning strategy. Not all of these people are actually going to teach you a way to actually make money. And I know this because I've paid for so many people you know, right? And when you pay for these people, when you buy their courses, send them money, you know, what you realize is a lot of them have information you could just learn on YouTube for free, okay? What I want to offer people is better free information just in this video than you would pay people thousands of pounds or dollars for, okay? Just the fact this video is going to be free and full of information on trading meme coins, the mindset required for it, where to find the next bit of information when it comes to ascending on your cryptocurrency journey, okay? I remember when I was first growing up, trying to, you know, first learn how to make big money, okay? When, you know, I was seeing all my mates either chat to no girls or get all the girls because they were making hella money. When I was first understanding this, I realised that a man's value is integral to how much money they have. It's integral to what power or importance, which is usually one-to-one connected with how much money you have, is so integral to a man's personality, a man's growth, you know? A poor man's personality could never be the same as a rich man, even the same man, okay? Look at Cristiano Ronaldo. Do you think he has the exact same attributes as he did when he was living in the favelas, sweeping the streets, as he does now, making hundreds of millions of pounds, hundreds of millions of dollars? Of course not. Does he still has a lot of the same attributes, core values? I'm sure he does, okay? Has he got many amazing skills that he's brought to the table throughout his career? Of course he does. But what people need to understand, and this is what makes it so relevant to cryptocurrency, is you could be watching him, okay, at the game, watching Cristiano Ronaldo. But does that mean you're going to be able to become a world champion? No. Okay? Does that mean you're even going to know how to kick a straight ball if you've not actually had experience in kicking balls? Of course not. This is why I want you to realize the proportion of videos you watch on how to trade crypto needs to be proportional to action you're actually taking on downloading a crypto app on your phone, on downloading another crypto app on your phone, on downloading a pro trading crypto app on your phone. Starting out with Coinbase, moving on to Phantom Wallet, then moving on to Axiom or Borneo X or Terminal or GMGN or etc. Okay? It's about actually sitting on a pro exchange, okay, and getting that market research in there, okay? It's about getting your Twitter built up with enough accounts that you know are not only legitimate, but the calls they make, the coins that are connected to those accounts are coins that have good numbers and make viral narrative running coins. Because of course you're going to find the odd good coin on an exchange, and then you're going to go on the linked Twitter on that exchange for that coin and see it's a viral tweet, which is obviously how you're going to find some coins. But a lot of coins are found through paid groups, insider groups, Twitter accounts that make coins. And I've done a lot of the craziest type of things when I was first starting out doing this to try and find good crypto accounts to follow on Twitter, okay? Because once you understand the basics when it comes to sending Solana from account to account, sending Solana from Coinbase to Phantom Wallet to Axiom to Terminal to, you know, whichever app you want to use, sending it back and forth, depositing, withdrawing, etc., etc. Once you've then understood how to trade properly, okay, not find the right coins, but just the baseline on how to trade properly, okay, then you gonna set up your bribery fees, set up your priority fee, set up your slippage percentage, okay? Set up your filters on your exchange. Learn about what Twitter trackers are, why you need them. Okay, I remember you had to spend £700 through Axiom or pay a monthly subscription just to have a good Twitter tracker when I was first starting out in cryptocurrency. And keep in mind, if you don't think that Twitter is important when it comes to finding the next 100, 1,000 X runner, when it comes to cryptocurrency and meme coins specifically, then why would you have to trade £700 on Axiom to get access to that Twitter tracker? Why would you have to pay a monthly subscription to get access to that Twitter tracker? Well, the answer is because it's so important to trading cryptocurrency at a high level. Because sometimes when you have a coin that's gone up by 20,000%, 40,000%, you've probably seen these on my TikTok. You've probably seen percentages like these on my Instagram, on my YouTube, okay? When you see this, a lot of the times in the first 30 minutes of the coin, 1 hour of the coin, 5 hours of the coin, it's gone up by 15,000%. It's gone up by 10,000%. It's done half of the total, you know, over 3/4 of the total percent it's going to do in the first 10, 30, half an hour, 50, 45, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour, 5 hours, etc. Right? And then it starts to slow down as it reaches its peak. Okay? So catching those coins quickly is how you're going to make money consistently with cryptocurrency. I wouldn't be able to actually make a living with cryptocurrency if it wasn't for Twitter trackers, okay? If it wasn't for searching Twitter for the next viral coin, okay? If it wasn't for wallet trackers, okay? And these are all pro things that you have Twitter trackers on Borneo X, but this is just a feed that's already set up for you of some of the most viral Twitter accounts, and it is good that just shows you information on a screen. It's not always the best viral coins because you can't customize your feed on Bull Neo X at the moment, okay? But on Axiom, it's what's called a customizable Twitter tracker, which is the best type of one. That's why you have to trade £700 through Axiom to get access to it. Storytime, I had to actually trade over £700 through Axiom to actually get access to it, but that's a whole other story, okay? The whole purpose of a Twitter tracker is literally to give you a notification quicker than Twitter can give you that notification if you've got all notifications turned on. You could have the best phone, best laptop, most RAM, most storage, best processor possible, and it's not going to be as quick as if you had a Twitter tracker, okay? Now, is that Twitter tracker going to work if you're not on your phone? No. Is it going to work if you're not actually on your computer at the time? No. You need to be locked in. You need to be locked in. Because obviously, if you're on that exchange and you then have a Twitter tracker go off, a tweet go off, and then boom, you're on that coin. You've copied the CT, you've copy pasted the CT, you click buys, you've got your stop loss, you've got your stop profit. So you've got your risk management locked in. You're never going to get completely rogged on anything. Okay, boom, you bought the coin. Okay, and if you bought that coin quick enough, you should be in instant profit right away. And then you watch your P&L, okay, you sell 20%, you sell 10%, boom, that's the money you put in locked away. And now you're just letting your last little percents ride on the way up. You're selling little slots of 10%, 20%, 10%, okay? There's a lot of ways once you become pro at crypto that you're in profit within seconds, within minutes of that trade. But it's not by just finding the right coin. It's not going to be by just using stop loss and stop profits. It's going to be by combining all of these things you've learned together, okay? And then being honest with yourself, understanding yourself when it comes to your own human behavior when it comes to trading cryptocurrency. Because you see, a lot of what it takes to trade meme coins is mental. It's knowing that you're going to need to learn this stuff. You're going to need to learn bribery fees, slippage, priority fees, you know, how to set up your filters, the right Twitter accounts to follow, what Twitter trackers to use, wallet trackers, how to use them, where to find the wallets to track, okay, how to actually set up and make that work, right? How to view your wallet tracker whilst actually viewing your exchange screen at the same time in a fluid way, okay? Knowing what wallets are KOLs, which means influencers in the space, or what wallets are maybe dev'd wallets, which means wallets that have usually such a high win rate that that's probably just a dev for that coin, a developer for that coin, being sent supply for that coin after he's created it, okay? It's learning all of these things, combining all of these things together to make one fluid knowledge path of gradual improvement, always constantly learning more. You know, even I'm on a journey of improving when it comes to cryptocurrency, okay? We're all constantly always getting better. There's always something you can do, okay? Right? And when it comes to making this deal, this contract between me and you, I think one of the most important things in this contract, in this deal we're making, this firm handshake we're making, okay, is this consolidation of thoughts that is, we're going to commit to this until it works, okay? You know, I was arrested over 17 times, okay? I was one of those bad kids that you'd meet, you know, in the alley after school was over because, you know, they were one of them naughty kids. I was one of those kids that got kicked out to live with their grandparents, okay? For all intensive purposes, I shouldn't be making more money than some people will make in a whole year, in a whole day, okay? And, you know, what makes me, you know, question everything is when I was a kid growing up, I just wanted to be famous on my bike. And I've done all that. I got hundreds of thousands of views every single post, millions of views on some posts on my bike. I got famous. I met celebrities I never thought I'd be able to meet. I met my idols when it comes to bike riders. I met some of the most famous rappers alive today and rode my bikes with them. They were on wheelie bikes, you know. And I can remember when I was growing up, that just being able to be good on my bike, just that was a dream. Never mind take it to the level I did. And then completing all of those goals, right? Meeting Jake 100, riding bikes with Stormzy, meeting little Harry. All of these crazy things, okay? After I completed, marked all of those, okay, off my list, I realised we're gonna need to get rich. Gradually, the internet started changing. All of a sudden, you couldn't be cool with just a push bike no more. Now you need a dirt bike. Now you need a ROM. Now you need a car. Now you need a Rolex watch. And don't get me wrong, now I'm important. A lot of people, you see me on my TikTok, you see me on my Instagram. I'm doing what I want to do now. I'm saying whatever I want to say. A lot of you probably wish you could be like me, okay? And you're like, comment on this video now probably. Oh, he's only saying this. He's only able to live free, be free because he's rich. Yeah, that is true. That is true. That is true. But wouldn't you want to be rich as well? Don't you want to not have to work a 9 to 5 as well? Don't you want to repay your parents for all of the effort they've had to put in? Think about how many people generationally have had to work tooth and nail, right, to the bone to just put food on their tables to get your generation to where it is right now. It'd be an insult to them, to your family tree, to not make generational wealth level up within not only the community but cryptocurrency. Learn constant knowledge, okay? Although your favorite fit looking model, girl you might like, doom scrolls on TikTok all day, she doesn't want a boyfriend, a husband, a man, etc. that does the same thing. The only way you're going to become a man of high status, a man of huge importance, power, is going to be getting rich. It doesn't matter how good you look if you're not rich. In this day and age, okay? And a lot of when it comes to making this, you know, big money in crypto is going to be not only understanding this whole 3-point knowledge understanding of finding coins, okay? Checking the coin for safety, then checking virality. Boom, you're trading. But that's only once you've become good. You need to make sure you've unlocked every step of the way. You've unlocked trading on Coinbase. You've unlocked then trading on Phantom Wallet, all phone apps. You've then understood trading on Bull NeoX, Axiom, GMGN, Terminal, etc. You've learned how to send funds to either of them, through all of them, okay? From Coinbase to Bull NeoX, back to Coinbase, to Phantom Wallet, vice versa. Then you understand how to trade on them. Then you want to understand bribery fees, priority fees, etc. Then you understand filters. Then after you understand filters, bribery fees, priority fees, etc., then you want to understand stop losses, stop profits. That's just your setup. Then you need to gain market experience. And not only is that just sitting on exchanges, that's watching, like I said, people on crypto Twitch, crypto Twitter trade for themselves. That's watching educational YouTube videos, though they might be few and far between. The crypto educational videos that are on YouTube are genuine pieces of art, especially when they're good. Generally, when it comes to crypto, you have scam, art, okay? Generally speaking, you don't have something really good and something really bad in the same video. With crypto, it's usually either scam or the next viral 100x runner, okay? With cryptocurrency, it can be a crazy place. Or you can just be getting rugged if you're trying to jump in without this base of information, okay? You need to understand, first, there's downloading Coinbase. Then there's downloading Phantom Wallet. They don't allow you to put custom fees, priority fees, filters, the rest of it. But that's good because it gives you a good point of knowledge of just what they show you. Seeing basic coins, trading in a basic way, converting Solana and Bitcoin and Ethereum into each other, learning about fees, learning about network fees, learning about what coins you can send from network to network, gradually learning what people you should watch on YouTube, what people you should follow on Twitter. Everything is a gradual step in the right direction, okay? Sometimes it might just be one thing, sometimes it might be two things, but if you're just learning one thing per day, you can constantly be improving every hour. Your mind can sometimes fill in the gap between something you did yesterday that was wrong on a trade and something you can do tomorrow to improve on a trade. It's not always your strategy that went wrong when you have a trade that went bad and you're in a net loss P&L. Sometimes it can just be your setup, your mindset on that. You were putting too much money in, so you FOMO'd it, okay? You traded out of it, you panic sold when it went down and then went straight back up because for you, you didn't have your risk management dialed in properly, okay? And what you need to understand as well is for a lot of people with crypto, some people can literally make £1 billion, literally, off of under 100 quid. First time they ever trade. But for the majority of people, it's not in getting rich quick. You're going to be getting rich, but just not quick, okay? You're going to be getting rich maybe quick in terms of 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, but you're not going to be able to trade and instantly become rich, okay? This is a case of definitely dedication is going to harbour the biggest result, okay? Knowing gradual improvements are going to be born skill every day, okay? Something you need to understand with crypto is, do you really think my parents knew anything about crypto? No, of course not. My parents are both over 50 years old. They didn't know anything about crypto. None of them have ever brought crypto ever. There's no such thing as a born talent when it even comes to trading cryptocurrency, okay? This is more of a thing of dedication, gradually learning the same thing over and over until it becomes second nature, and then using that skill base as an informational building block to that pyramid of knowledge you're building, okay? Think about it like this. If you get everything down to where it's second nature, every bit of learning from there becomes a walk in the park. That's why you need to make sure you're learning everything to the point where you understand the numbers, how to send funds from one account to the other, how to find the next viral narrative, how to spot the next viral narrative, how to know what coins are the right coins. You need to know that like it's second nature. You need to be able to actually spot those narratives like it's second nature. You need to not be one of these people that's just looking for a play, forcing a play constantly, buying the wrong coins because they're just trying to make the next viral play. They're not trying to actually judge and find the next viral play. You're trying to force a trade, okay? You know, you're panic selling, you're panic buying. You're doing the opposite of what you've been told, okay? Your gut feeling is going to be completely wrong. Usually when it comes to your girlfriend, your mum, your dad, your brother, your uncle, your nan, your daughter, your sister, your gut feeling is usually close to the correct or correct. But with cryptocurrency, you're going to need to flip the script, because when you first start out, you want to buy stuff when it's going up and sell stuff when it's going down. And truth be told, you need to buy stuff when it's gone down and sell when it's going up. It sounds the same, but it's not at all. It sounds similar, but it's not at all. Okay? One of the best things, one of the greatest things in cryptocurrency is knowing that you're not gonna find the winning strategy, the winning method. You need to become the winning method. Okay? With one of the things that I learned along my way in cryptocurrency is you think you're going to find like a website, a certain filter set up, a certain group you're going to join that's going to print you money. And the only people that have videos on that, because you can search for them right now, winning strategy, coin that's going to make me the next £1 million, you know, in 6 months. You can find videos like this, but they're just trying to weaponize your hunger to make money fast. Okay? A lot of the new scams when it comes to cryptocurrency is saying, oh, we've got this new AI trading bot that can execute trades for you. We've got this new winning strategy that means that we have a 100% win rate. We're in this insider group that has a 100% win rate and is the only way to make money in cryptocurrency. Scam comment underneath. And I swear, every crypto influencer has these fake comments underneath it. And if it's not the fake comments, you'll follow an influencer, you'll follow me, you'll follow another influencer in the space, in the crypto space, and boom, you'll have 100, okay, 200 comments on one of their videos, all scammers. You'll have another 5, 10, 3, 20, whatever, of the fake accounts pop up. We try and search their name. You have another 2, 3, 4, 5 of them follow you when you follow their account. With crypto, sometimes there's more scams than actually legitimate information if you're looking in the wrong place. Okay? That's why you need to have the right informational baseline when it comes to crypto. You need to know what you're doing when it comes to trading crypto. You need to have the right team. You need to follow the right people. You need to have a dedication to just letting your brain do the magic, going through the steps, going through the same rigmarole you did to learn how to walk. Okay, what did you do to learn how to walk? You constantly tried to crawl and crawl and crawl and crawl and crawl until you learn how to do your first starter steps. And then you did that and 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 did that until you first did your first little walk. And then when you're doing your first little walk, then you might have done your first little jog, then your little run, right? Nobody becomes good at something right away. To get exceptionally good at crypto is to understand you might need to be bad at it for the longest time first, okay? There's a lot of stuff in crypto that you're going to need to understand the hard way, not the easy way. But I'm trying to let you lot know that there's all these things to minimize your losses, okay? There are going to be all these things you can do, okay, to actually make sure that you're going to be able to make a living, live the life you want to live, be rich, be free, be happy, not be depressed, okay? Not wish for another just night out drinking, okay? Long-term improvements, a goal you couldn't imagine without qualifications, okay? This is something I want you, me and you, to make this deal together. You're going to make this commitment to getting rich through cryptocurrency, okay? And just, this needs to be a deal. This needs to be us agreeing that you're going to commit to this 100%, because you can't blame your strategy straight away when you're only trading for 15 minutes a day. You're trading for half an hour a day and wondering why you're just losing. You're not even researching the narratives before. You're not even understanding the runners, why they're running. Do those coins have safe numbers behind them? Do those coins have a viral Twitter account linked? Are those worth investing based on those figures? Okay? All of these things plus more are things you're going to need to understand when it comes to trading cryptocurrency. You know, I can remember when I was first learning about crypto, I was just hoping this might be the thing that would give me importance. This might be the thing that would save me from being poor or even being middle class, because the worst thing about being a 9-to-5 worker is your goal after getting your degree is to get into generational debt. Your life goal. I want my life goal to be staying in my penthouse, getting a new house in the countryside, going on holidays, okay? But in a life where the only thing you have is a 9-to-5, a job where you can't constantly level up, the only way to buy cooler stuff is to get into more and more debt. Because in a world where your job doesn't pay more and more each year, each month, the only way to buy cooler stuff is to get into more debt, okay? Is to not afford to be able to pay for that debt, okay? What I want people to understand is there is hope for people without degrees, without qualifications, okay? You might not be able to get rich in the way you thought, in the same easy way you thought, but you can get rich quick. You can get rich without qualifications. You can get rich through trading meme coins. Now, without making this video too long, I want you guys to agree with me that you're going to be there in the next video. We're going to trade together and let's get it.